I feel like maybe I'm just gonna start with a mental health check-in for myself. Sort of setting the stage. I feel it's also important for me actually to, I don't know, I didn't recall having done it actively in the recent times. Well, like sort of the last stream, but I think we didn't get like properly through it, so it was only like touching on the subject. Alright, let's start with physically, because that's easy. So, it's hard to tell. Like, I think I'm healthy again. Like, I was, for example, also like playing tennis yesterday. And I haven't noticed that my throat is getting like rough or anything, but I don't like entirely trust it yet. I do think it's sort of like a situation where it's like I'm like really close to being like entirely healthy. But I really want to make sure I don't like I don't know, like at 95% like overextend and then I'm like getting sick again. But I'm really happy that I'm definitely like to the point again where I can like exercise, because I haven't been exercising in the like while I was sick for the past like, I don't know, like week and a half or something. And I feel like I really missed that part. So yeah, I'm happy I can do that again, with like the knowledge that I'm probably like it's not gonna fuck up my health, but it's actually gonna like be a good idea to do it. But I do have quite a lot of like doctor's appointments at the moment because of like an allergy test coming up, and that's like also like I need to call back with like a like it's called like a migraine clinic. Like it's the neurologist I go to with my headache, because we've been, well, I should have called him back like a month ago or something already, to be fair. Because we've been trying to see if the chiropractor I was going to is going to fix my headache. And while I definitely believe it has gotten better, I'm like, it's like still there. So it's like nothing really where it's like, I don't know, fixed. So I wanted to get back to the clinic and be like, okay, let's try the next thing, because there's still some, well, essentially drugs we can try. Like, not like classic drugs, but like medicine drugs. And yeah, I try to sort of avoid them, but I feel like, I don't know, like if the chiropractor is not gonna do the thing, I shouldn't waste more time, sort of, and I should try to find a solution to this. So I have it on my to-do list and I'm calling them back, which is gonna be even more doctor's appointments. And then I have like I'm sort of like in the intake phase right now with this like other a therapy place in Utrecht. And it's not going as well as I hoped. Like the plan was essentially that because I'm like sort of done with therapy at the place I'm right now. And the only thing I still wanted to do was some type of like group therapy, because that can specifically help with like social anxiety and just, I don't know, like I feel like my social anxiety has gotten better because I trained it in my like a normal life. But it's still definitely a thing where I just want to get to the point where social interactions really don't take me much more energy than regular ones. So I was really hoping for that group therapy lesson. But now I talked to them and they actually told me that the next group therapy might only start in like a year. Like they were considering to open up a new group. That's why I sort of applied, but I think it like fell through or something. So if the next is only in a year, that's like really annoying. Also, they like still consider to give me like normal therapy, which is a thing where I'm like, sure. I'm not sure if I need it, but like sure. Like why not, you know? But I'm really sort of like, okay, like what, like can that really help me with my goals? Or is that sort of like wasted energy? So yeah, it's also appointments I have to attend to. So a bunch of appointments with doctors and psychologists and all of that stuff right now, which is just, I don't know, like the appointments itself, like I don't like, I don't know, it doesn't matter too much, right? But it's just energy. Like they're always midday, right? Because it's like doctors, like they're never on the weekend or at times where it's like easy to get to. So to some of them I have to get to alone, which is again like sort of like just taking me more energy than if I don't have to go there alone. Because of the like social anxiety part still. So that's like annoying. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, a bunch of appointments I don't really, I don't know, which are not fun, like especially the allergy test. I'm low-key like scared of it. Because I'm like, is it gonna itch like the, like you put it on like on one day and it's like this huge plaster with like a lot of different, I don't know, like allergic, like possibly allergic like substances. And it's this like huge batch essentially of like so many. And they just put it on your back and you're like not allowed to shower with it on for like the next 3 days. And then you're like, well, like it can itch because it's like if you're allergic to one of them, which is like the point why we're doing this, right? So the expectation is like that I am allergic to at least one of them, probably some of them. And then it's gonna be itching for like 3 days, and I'm really bad with itching. Um, yeah. So I really hate that part. Not looking forward to it. Um, Probably good to find out, but like definitely not looking forward to it. Mm, yeah. But yeah, good news. I'm doing exercise again. I'm sort of healthy again. Um, I have been reading like a tiny bit. Like I wanted to read more, to be fair. But yeah, I haven't. I'm too excited for other things right now. Like I'm really doing like so much creative stuff. So yeah, I don't know, like reading hasn't been at the top of my list, but I definitely want to go back to it. But I'm glad that I read at least like something. It honestly, it was only like 1 page though, which is like 2 pages in a normal book. So it's really like not much, but it's still a win, you know. Like we still have been technically reading, a little bit more than I don't know, like packaging instructions. Um, well, I feel like it's a, I don't know, it's like a sign that I like take it seriously and I go back into it. So I'm happy. Um, then there's a few other goals which are more time sensitive, but I really sort of avoid them. So I need to send out like invitations for my birthday. Because we're in the Netherlands and like Dutch people need invitations like 3 months in advance. My birthday is on the 29th of January, so I'm technically I'm already late. Like technically I'm already late. But it's really weird to me that like because Zach has his birthday on the 8th of December and he's been sending out his invites like already like a month ago or something. But it's really weird to me to have like his invites still pending and then sending out my invites. Because it's like, I don't know, it's essentially asking some people to like come to the Netherlands to visit us from Germany. And it's like they haven't even planned the one trip and then they should plan the second trip. Like that's, I don't know. It's not perfect, but I should just do it. Like people can say no, like I'm not forcing anybody. But I'm just, I don't know, I'm just avoiding the situation because I don't like it. Um at the same time, I don't have like a very specific plan for my birthday yet. And that's also annoying for me because I want to set like really clear expectations for the invite. so people like really know what they get themselves into. Well, I feel like I might be obsessing about the details a little bit too much because I want to make like every cake and food. Like I want to essentially, so I'm inviting like, I don't know, like maybe 30 people or something. I want to make dinner for everybody myself and cakes and stuff. But at the same time, some of these people who's gonna come are probably gonna come for like longer than that one day. So I can't be just like cooking and baking for like 1 week in advance because the people who are arriving will want to do stuff with me. So it needs to be like stuff which is like fairly easy to make for like an entire load of people. Yeah, and it's just one of those things where like I feel like nobody is expecting me to tell them beforehand what they gonna have as food in like 3 months. But I just want to have the planning done. And that's why I'm like sort of, I don't know. It's it's a little bit stupid. So yeah, I should just send it out, I guess. Greetings, Grumpy. How you doing? Welcome. So yeah, I'm doing like a mental health check on myself right now, sort of. To sort of get this room going. So I'm glad you're here. So I've already been sort of at the like how I'm physically doing part, which is like I'm healthy again, I'm exercising again. I'm like 95% healthy maybe. Like I don't know if I'm 95 or 100%, but I'm already doing exercise, but I'm still sort of like taking vitamin C, like being cautious. And apart from that, I'm having like a bunch of doctor's appointments, which is really annoying. Like I'm having like this allergy test, I'm having this intake with that other thing. Like I should get back to the neurologist for like the chronic headache type situation, and like there's so many appointments going on, and it's really, I don't know, it's too much. um And yeah, apart from that, I've been not doing what I wanted to do and doing a bunch of stuff which I want to do spontaneously instead. Which um yeah, means that I only read like 1 to 2 pages, and I have been working on my invite for my birthday in January, but I haven't sent it out yet, and I'm already too late technically. So I need to like do some of the stuff I'm like a little bit pushing right now. And just get over myself. Yeah. So your notification, I was focused with work, also listening to a smart audio. I had to finish that chapter before joining because I was a cliffhanger. I'm glad you're enjoying your life. My birthday is on the 29th of January, so like pretty late. But because I live in the Netherlands, like all the Dutch people want the invites like 3 months in advance. Because seriously, like if you invite people to your birthday like 1 week in advance, we had the experience that literally like 20% of the people are available only, and the rest can't come. So yeah. So I'm late, technically. Like I'm already pretty late on my invite, even though it's already like it's still like 2 months out, like more than 2 months. But yeah. So, but it's like, yeah, it's like really unnatural to me to send out the invite so early, especially because I don't really have a feeling yet for like what food I want to offer or like what type of cakes or something. Actually, you know what? I'm too hard on myself here because I've been actually technically like working on those invites. Because I have made like 2 different cake tests so far for like cakes which are like easy to make, and I already planned the third one. Ads. Oh, I'm just gonna wait for a second. I'm just gonna use that time to drink the rest of my protein shake. What is happening here? Ad's still going strong. Damn, Grumpy has long ads. So we were at the cakes, right? Yeah. Oh, thank you so much for the sub, Grumpy. Thank you. Fuck you, ads. Oh. I love how you were like going strong on like just waiting for the ad to end, and then at some point you were like, I'm done with it, like fuck you. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate the support. Whatever it does to my Twitch algorithm. Hopefully, I don't know. Like there's like rumors about this that like if you have like more subs, they like push you sort of. I don't know if that's true, but I heard it. If you can't tell, it's that time of the month. You mean like payday day? Wait, payday is actually already the day. It's not payday day. Payday day is the like when you play payday day. I love that actually, payday day. Payday hey. Oh my god. I love that there's like this like A makes it so much more like nice to sort of like say. Ooh, payday slay. Payday hey slay. Payday day slay. Payday slay day. Ooh, I love that. Slay is a really good combination with that. Okay. Okay. Oh, and welcome back, pandas, to the chat. So, yeah, what I was saying is that I'm actually like, I've been like a little bit too hard on myself because like with the invitation, I'm actually sort of working on it the entire time because I totally forgot that like what's sort of bothering me is that I like sort of like I want to know if I'm gonna say like like you get like all of the food I made myself, you get like all of the cakes I made myself, like I'm gonna give you like a 5-star menu, you know, like for my birthday, but like come, you know, like it's worth it. Be there or be square, you're gonna miss out. And yeah, but because some people, I hope, I expect, probably, maybe, will be there for longer, so they want actually to do something with me before my birthday, like the few days before. So I want to limit my preparations to the day of the birthday and the evening before. So let's just say I need really, really efficient, good tasting cakes. I've been making 2 so far. The result is okay, but I don't like I made one with like bladderdeeg. I think that's in Dutch, and in English it's puff pastry. So Blätterteig in German. But I don't like that part. Like I don't like the dough of it. I can see the link. Great. I found a great tattoo. Okay, let's hope it's a great tattoo. Oof. The first comment is best, actually. The first comment is like not the one from the moderator, but the NSFW warning, exclamation mark, and then brackets end. But oof. Yeah. Cheesecake? Ever had cheese cream cake? No, but I also do not like cheesecake, sadly. Like my taste is really, really specific. So that's the other problem. So yeah, I've been making like 2 cakes so far. One of them is definitely like really easy to make, really quick to make, so that's good. Like at least it's not quick. It's not like actually quick to make, but it's like it takes like an hour in the oven. But the thing, like the time and effort it takes me to make is actually like really low. Like I just need to like cut like it's an American apple pie, but you buy like pre-made puff pastry as like the dough. So you put like you cut all the apples, you like put all the sugar and shit in, and then you just throw it in the cake, put the cover on top. That's sort of it. Definitely takes longer if you do stuff like me, which is like braiding the entire top part. Like that's insane. But I think I won't do that then. Like I feel like I'm just gonna like cut out some leaves and stuff like this and like put those on top and just gonna be like, that's not good enough. Yeah. I've made a rainbow cake once for my birthday. Oh my god. I mean, that sounds amazing. It sounds like a lot of work too, though. HR. HRT? What is HRT? I just know HR. For the HR team? Anyway, like, you go make some food. Enjoy. Eating is important. But yeah, so I'm sort of like I'm working towards having like the proper invite, but I'm honestly like it's sort of stupid to wait with the invite until I have the perfect like cake and like whatever like hormone replacement therapy. Oh lol. Okay. uh, yeah. Okay, so not HR. That's that makes so much more sense. I'm glad. I was sort of like, what is like with HR actually? But that's great. Uh, but it's a whole bunch of uncomfortable questions though. Um, but yeah. Do they, by the way, do like a hormone test of your hormone levels like before? Like they should, right? Because that could be like quite interesting, I feel like. Anyways, make your food first. We'll come back to this topic later. Then you can like eat in peace now. Yeah, so I don't know, like I haven't been like it's just one of those things where like that's like exactly what I like oftentimes like when we talk about stuff, I like say like we need to think about this actively. Like there needs to be an active decision. Because with the invitation, it's actually a perfect example because it's on my to-do list. It's the second thing on top. And I haven't been doing it, and the month is like nearly over. I have already the like the sort of text on like which I wanted to like put out, and I already sort of have a plan, but because I wanted to make the plan like way more like the plan sort of made some questions for myself, which is for example like okay like you say you're gonna make like the cakes and stuff yourself and you're gonna like offer dinner, but like is there like how much people do you want to invite? Like can you like what type of dinner can you make for so many people while still like if people come over for like a few weeks or well a few weeks is too much but like a few days in advance, like how can you offer food to everybody to maybe 30 people and still be a good host and like be with the people who are actually like coming over to see you? um and just because I've been thinking like there's options, you know, like there's really not like I know I sort of can do it, but I'm just sort of like trying to figure out what the perfect options are. Which I would have time for, right? Like till the birthday. But because these questions came up when I made this goal, I'm like now working towards solving those questions without sending the invite. But every time I look into my calendar and I see like my goal of sending the invite, I'm like, oh fuck, I didn't do this. Like I'm so procrastinating on this. But essentially it's not really procrastination, but it's just a like a confused motivation, let's say. Because like I'm working on the goal right now. I'm just working on it in a like in I'm just doing like steps first, which are like I'm like it's weirdly arranged, you know? Like I should just send out the invite saying like there's gonna be like food and cakes and stuff and like all types of snacks. Like you can eat here if you want, like don't be afraid. And that would be like for most people, that would absolutely be enough. And then on, I don't know, the week before, the day before, on the day, I could still be like, hey, we have this, and this, so don't eat dinner, or like, or do eat dinner. And then like people can decide for themselves. So it's really something where like the specific food plan is so unnecessary to make now. But I do, because these questions have been raised while planning this whole thing and while working on the invite to then be able to send out the invite. But the moment I now like actively think about it, I'm like, actually, I should just send out the invite because people need to know of the date first. And then I also get feedback on like who many people are coming, and then I can like plan everything way better. And I feel like now that I sort of like think about this, like the resistance is sort of like resolved because I fixed the confusion. And now I know like, okay, I should send this out and then like I can like keep working on the cakes, whatever, but it's like separate from sending the invite out. Like I don't need to wait with the invite on something. The same is sort of with the like with the reading. I guess with the reading it's like a bit harder because with the reading parts it's like something I don't really entirely feel like doing right now. Because I have like a lot of other goals I feel like really excited about. So for example, I'm like making dice right now to sell actually. Like for D&D, like these type of dice. And I have like so many I don't know, there's like so many things I'm sort of like into right now. Like I'm really doing like a lot of 3D printing stuff. Like I've 3D model like my own like IKEA like clothes cabinet inlay for like the accessory drawer. So I can like organize like all my stuff and shit like this. I've been doing like I'm doing tests at the moment with like PLA smoothing. With like different types of like chemicals. I'm doing like a test on like what the best settings are for like miniature printing and like how to best print miniatures and stuff like this. So like I have like right here, I have like different imps I made. And like, so this is the first test. And as you can see, so this is supposed to have like a tail, which it doesn't. And you can see there's a bunch of gunk because that's what the tail was supposed to be, but it broke. So that was the first one. And the one I have right now, like the last one, has still like stringing, but there's the tail. The tail is like, you know, it's like not broken. It's like actually it's working. But as you can like, do you see that? Like there's a tiny bit of stringing. And like stringing is fine, like you can fix that. But it's just not like entirely perfect because there's some places where the model looks a tiny bit trash because there's been an overhang which has not been like perfectly supported. So for example, yeah, you can see it. So the second thing is it's like not standing straight on the bottom because I put supports on the bottom and they didn't like properly support it. So it's like, do you see like it's like really rough? Also like here at the bottom of the tail you can see that, and at the bottom of the wings. So that's like really not perfect, but it's the only model where the tail actually came out like properly intact and stable. I do have to say, I picked, like the model I picked is way harder than I thought it would be because it's so tiny. Because if models are bigger, and this is like the tiniest miniature model you would need to print because it's like it's the tiniest scale you use in D&D for like tabletop gaming. So that's sort of like annoying. I don't know if I still want to fix that, but yeah, so I'm like, anyways, like I'm doing like a bunch of different things, a bunch of different tests. I'm also like, I've got into like some board games. Like we're playing like Robinson Crusoe right now. I don't know if you heard it, but it's like really hard. We failed twice already. I'm hooked, you know. So let's just say I have a lot of different things I'm doing right now. I'm more into the like fun space right now. And I honestly feel like it's why is that? Let me think. I feel like because motivation is hard right now, maybe. Like, I don't know, like I've been sick, right? Like I've had my period, like I've like while being sick, then with all the doctor's appointments, like there's been so many things coming together with the intake, with all of these appointments that I don't know, because like the reading part is really, it's not like reading anything. It's not like reading a fantasy novel. That's not what I mean by reading, sadly. What I mean by reading is like reading the introduction course book of psychology. So I don't know. I think I just don't really have like energy for that at the moment, and that's why it's sort of like falling through. Um, but at the same time, I realized the negative feedback of it falling through because I realized like I noticed how I don't feel very I don't know, I don't feel like too knowledgeable or like I don't feel like I'm like I don't know, I feel this is maybe like only me, but whenever I learn something, um I feel smart. Is that a normal connection? I don't know, but whenever I've learned something new, I feel like smart and I feel like I'm like getting smarter, like I'm progressing, I feel like achieved and and stuff like this. And when I don't learn something, I feel lazy. Like even if I do like a whole bunch of different things, and even if the things I do are like challenging and I learn something in different areas, it's like if I don't learn something new in psychology, I just don't, I don't know, I don't feel like I'm like really progressing. I don't know, does that make sense? But yeah, so I think for this specifically, I just maybe didn't have like too much energy. Um, and that's why I didn't do it. So I feel like maybe I should switch to reading in the morning. Like literally like standing up, picking up that book and reading for just like half an hour or something to make sure that I like that this comes first and like get my priorities straight. Or and that's sort of the other option, like either like actually prioritize it, or the second thing I could do is just make peace with me not having had energy for that and just be like, well, I was sick and like stuff, like there was a lot of stuff going on and it's fine to not have energy for that sometimes. And the energy is gonna come back, like sort of, I guess, like soon, probably. And then I'm gonna like start reading again. And it's like fine if I don't do it for like a few weeks. Um, and I feel like that would be like fine too. So I feel like I maybe just need to make sort of like a decision on that a little bit. I think I'm just gonna try to read in the morning. And when I feel like I think I'm just gonna confront that and see what's going on. Like if there is any new knowledge in that moment. Like if because if I read in the morning, like if I'm still exhausted, that means I'm too exhausted because I haven't like rested properly. And then I just need a little bit more rest. But yeah, we're gonna find that out. But yeah, apart from that, I'm actually like I don't know, like these are the like the tiny things where I'm like, because like I look in the calendar at the evening and I'm like, but apart from that, I'm actually really happy. Like, I don't know, like I'm really good. Yeah, I'm feeling really good. It's like even today when I didn't show you, I think. Today for stream, I was like a tiny bit late because let me because I had a huge mishap in the kitchen. Like, look at this. Like, do you see the spots on the floor? Like, it's everywhere. It's absolutely everywhere. It's like on my entire clothing. It's like on the back wall. It's like everywhere. So, and it was fine. Like, usually stuff like this, like, you don't know me too long, right? Back in the day, this would have been so bad for me. Because I don't know, just sort of like the world belief system I formed when I was young essentially told me that if I spill something or do something like this, I'm like so stupid. Like I could have known, I'm like so stupid. I'm like the stupidest person on earth. I'm reckless because I could have known, but I just didn't think hard enough because I'm reckless. I'm like it would have meant so many negative things about myself. It would have meant that essentially I'm a bad person because I spilled something. But it was, and I knew logically a bit that this was like too much. But it just, I couldn't really do something against it. Like, I just felt like absolute shit. But today, it was like, I don't know what happened. And I just looked at the situation, like the whole splash thing, and I was like, no way. Like, no way this happened right now. And I picked up the phone because like nobody's gonna believe me how how big the mess is. Like no way the window has a splash on it. No way the freaking what do we like the grapefruit we have outside has like coffee on it now. No way the entire floor has coffee on it. No way my hair, my top, my trousers have coffee on it. The entire like the lower cabinet it like spilled down has coffee on it. Everywhere's coffee. Like on that side wall, on this side wall, on the window, on the floor, on me entirely. Like everything is full of coffee. And I don't know, because I thought it's so comical. Like it was so comical. Like I really like in the moment I thought like, oh fuck, I guess I could have known. But at the same time, like, damn, like this did a huge splash. And then I don't know, I just cleaned up the whole thing. And that was it, sort of like it's I don't know, like the only thing I was like sort of thinking was like, okay, like I'm not gonna do that again. Like lesson learned. And that's sort of it. Like it didn't mean like all of these like negative things about me anymore. And I don't know, that's just really like it really shows me how far I've come, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. Mm. And what else? Yeah. I agree. Like, all of this shame is so unnecessary. Like, there's things you can feel shame about, right? But just being a normal human who like does a mistake sometimes, I don't know. I just think it's like really, I don't know, I'm really glad that I can, I guess, I don't know, it's so much easier, you know, to handle a negative situation if you don't make it as big. You know what I mean? Like back then, because it meant so many negative things, right? It was like a really huge situation for me, and it was a really huge thing. And like even the moment like so first of all, because it meant that much, it was way harder to handle the situation. But even if I handled the situation, it didn't let me, like, the emotions, like, I couldn't let them go. And today it was just, I don't know, if you don't have these like huge implications because of that, it's like so much easier to handle the situation. Like, I don't know, like back then, if something like this happened and there were like friends around or something, or like my husband or whatever, like I would, because I would be so bothered on my own, it could sort of like, how do I say this? I could turn like a, I don't know, like resentful or like angry towards the other person really quick. Because it was like in that moment it was because of me, but because it meant so much, if there was any person I sort of like could like which could have something to do with that, I would be angry towards that person as well. And I don't know, because socially you can't be angry that much on a person because of something like this. It would sometimes be like sort of this like suppressed anger. So it's I don't know, it's like a really, really hard situation, I feel like. Which isolates you from the other people even more. And now I have like something like this happens and I have space. Like I'm not over the window of tolerance. I'm comfortably in it. Like I don't turn like I'm maybe like frustrated in that moment and thinking, oh god damn it, like that's Jesus Christ, it's everywhere. But I'm still a safe person. Because I'm well regulated, like I have my emotions under control. Like it's fine. Like if there would be a kid around me, if there would be like my husband around me, like a dog or whatever, like it wouldn't even matter. Like I just would be a safe person for that person too. Like I wouldn't be the person who's then like blaming, shaming another person. I won't be the person who's like, I don't know, like throwing this like big old like anger tantrum where it's like the people around you are like getting scared or something, you know? I'm not a person you need to be like, you need to worry about in that moment. That they like turn on you, because like, I don't know, if people turn like panicky and have like these big emotions, are like really frustrated or whatever, like even though it's like directed towards themselves, it makes them like an unsafe person for the other people, right? Because if somebody is like out of their window of tolerance, it's like they are not safe. Like their logical thinking is less and their empathy is less and all of that stuff, right? So they're definitely like a less safe person than a person who's like well regulated. Um and yeah, so I'm like, I don't know, I'm just really happy that I'm safe now, sort of. Because it doesn't only mean that I'm safe for other people, right? But I'm also safe for myself. But definitely, the counter probably drank more than me. But I didn't make new one. Like I was like, well, gonna eat a little bit more cereal, whatever. So, it is not only you. Some people feel sharp and more alive when their mind is engaged. Learning gives your brain a sense of progress and reward, which boosts confidence and energy. When nothing new is happening, your mind shifts into idle mode, and that can feel like laziness, even when it's just a lack of stimulation. You thrive on curiosity and mental movement, so your mood naturally rises when you grow and discover. Yes and no. Like yes, I agree with you. In general, definitely. I also like FYI, I just wanted to come back to this because I felt like it's a really good message. Definitely, you're absolutely right. For me specifically, it's the weird thing is that I'm not doing something new, you know? I'm also not learning something new. Like the moments I feel like these are moments where I don't learn anything in mental health. It can still be that I meanwhile learn Blender, learn 3D printing, learn like a bunch of other things. But it's just that I don't learn anything in like psychology or mental health, and then it's like so I don't know, it's like honestly like it's a funny situation with me. I don't know. But there's just that topic of like mental health and psychology is just like I guess more important to me than other, like it's not only mental health and psychology, it's like really sort of like how to live a good life, like how to be happy, how to be a good human, maybe more in general, sort of like really to become better as a person, instead of just like I feel like when I learn like something like Blender or like FDM printing or whatever, it doesn't make me a better person. Like it's sort of like buying material things. Like it doesn't really change my character or make my character better than before. So I guess that's the difference for me. So finding motivation is really hard, that's true. I call it creative juices. Okay, I'm usually actually I have so many ideas. I have like 20 or 25 ideas on the backlog, like creative ideas specifically. Minimum 20, probably like 25, 30. Yeah. Like if anybody doesn't have hobbies, I have some. Like I can give you hobbies. No problem. Like it's my hobbies then, but like, just in case. Like there's so many things I want to do. That's why they're like finding motivation to doing the healthy things actually hard, because there's so many fun things I like have motivation for. But doing the healthy thing of like reading is like, But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's also just because I was like exhausted. So I'm not like quite sure. Strawberry slices shortcakes. By the way, if you have any good recipes, Grumpy, send them in the Discord in the cooking channel. Please. Please, please, please. Would be absolutely amazing. And hi Fluffy, how are you doing by the way? Welcome, welcome. Why are you using that emoji? Like, is the doom plan already dooming? When something goes wrong and you stay calm instead of sinking into dark thoughts, that is real growth. You showed a gentle strength by seeing the mistake without turning it into a reason to attack yourself. Proves you can be responsible without being cruel to your own mind. Small moments like this teach you that you are safe to be human. I'm proud of you for choosing peace, softness, and self-respect, even when things got messy. Thank you, Grumpy. That's really well written, by the way. That's like, it's so well written that I'm a tiny bit suspicious, because if I feel like it could be a quote from a book or something. Like it's really well written. I don't know. But yeah, it's I don't know, I feel like it's so nice when you have those moments after you've been worse, because it feels so empowering, you know? Like, it's like, damn, I did change. Like, look at me now. Like, woo! The dooming is that I had to work the last 3 days and just couldn't today, so I just called that I don't come today. So, what is the dooming part about that? Like, are you sick, or are you just like, just couldn't, like, what? I am not entirely sure what you're trying to tell me. Sorry. Life is one big open book. Is it an open book though? Like, I feel like it's... Well, maybe if it's a big open book, true. Sorry, not Fluffy. Fluffy in a second. Pandas, by the way, I don't know if you heard before, but I was also sort of like asking like how you've been doing. So, because we haven't heard much from you since the last time. Like, not since the last stream, I mean, but since the last, like, since the big discussion. I live in a smut novel, hopefully. Well, I mean, you know, you can always make it a smut novel. Like, it's just... Just need to find the right people, I guess. Be on the right, I don't know, websites. I feel like shit. Oh, way too stressed and before I get sick, I stop. That's good. That's healthy. Doesn't sound good with the stress part. Do you remember last time, Fluffy, when we talked about it, that I was sort of like giving the remark of like, I hope you have enough times where you sort of like chill and like have like a step back, you know, from this whole situation. You said that you like this is only in like short bursts, and that's why you sort of like you automatically get like a break. Was that different now? Like, is that why the last 3 days have been like extra stressful? Because the break was hard because you have been working like for the past 3 days in a row, or did something else happen where the past 3 days have been significantly stressful? Mm. Did they do anything at the vet? Like, did they say anything? I hate to have the emergency services at work, and I just had it 3 days in a row. Can't today, not gonna lie. What are the emergency services at work? Why, like, is that like you being the emergency service, or is that like the like ambulance coming to you guys to work because somebody needs them, or like, or is it just like extra support for the business? Okay, so like these emergency. Why have they been at work 3 days in a row? Like, what's been going on? Like, that seems like. like I thought you work in like how you call it again in English? What do you call it in English? Caretaker? No. I don't know the word in English for it, but like I thought you've been like caretaking, like in the. No, it's not caretaking. It's, well, it's sort of caretaking. Heh? What's the word for it in English? Is the word caretaking? No way. I don't know, but like caretaking on like teenagers or like young adults and stuff like this, kids. Disability assistance. Okay, so is that what I think you were doing? I thought it's more like mental health and sort of like and disability, but more into the mental health direction? Or is it more into the disability? And is it actually with like teens or? They said nothing at the vet, so I guess I'm fine. My body is just doing its mysterious journey to the moon and making life dramatic for no reason. Double diagnosed disability. Oh. That's... So they've... Double diagnosed? What is a double diagnosed disability, bro? I don't know any of that. I'm like, so it's like, well, like, why is like, so like, why does it matter if a disability is like diagnosed twice? Is it the same disability? Do they have like 2 diagnoses for a disability? So they have 2 disabilities? Or like what? Aside from that, I'm living the usual routine between work, chores, shopping, and taking care of my cats. I do a lot to keep myself going, and I'm managing well, even with my chaotic lunar sacrifice moment happening in the background. I am struggling slightly with like we were talking about your cat having an issue at the vet, right? Because you say so. I am fine. You could have a disability with, I don't know, walking because of your body, but the double part comes in if you are like on an IQ 60. And because of that, you have the disability with walking? Or is that a thing? That you can have like a hard time walking because like as an intelligence issue? Because it seems like something we just automatically do. Like, I never thought about how it maybe takes like sort of like
ここにいらしたのですね。は？ずっとお探し申し上げておりました。聖女様。は？誰かこの状況を説明してくれ。アンジェンテ。おっさんだけど聖女です。 お探し申し上げておりました。聖女様。おっさんの俺が、聖女？数刻前、
辺境の村の村人、ゼフ。
おうゼフ、お前も官邸に行くのか？ああ、聖女様を探して王都から騎士様が来てるんだってな。
こんな村に聖女様なんているわけねえのにな。がっはっは。
腰が。
悪い。
聖女様、この国全体の汚れを払い、傷ついた者を癒す存在。どの代も一人しかいないが、その代が弱まり始めると必ず次代が現れ、耐えることはないらしい。次代の聖女様が見つからないとは聞いていたけど、こんな辺境の司祭もいないような村にまで。それに何も、こんなおっさんまで鑑定しなくてもいいんじゃないか。
王都から来た騎士、ヴィーラント。
次の方。あなたが最後ですか？ああ。この鑑定士に手を。残念そうな顔。無理もない。はるばるここまでやってきて、結局聖女はいなかったんだもんな。聖女様。ここにいらしたのですね。は？ずっとお探し申し上げておりました。聖女様。は？誰かこの状況を説明してくれ。聖女が男という例はごくごく稀にあることらしい。具体的には歴代の聖女52人のうち5人。俺が栄えある6人目だそうだ。はあ。というわけで聖女様には一刻も早く王都に来ていただきたく。待て待て、話がよく。大体俺が聖女って何かの間違いじゃねえのか？ありえません。ああ。鑑定士で確認しましたし、この村の魔獣被害が異常に少ないことも裏付けになります。聖女様がいらっしゃるところは魔獣は避けて通りますから。それならなおさら王都になんて行けない。ここから王都までは馬車で1ヶ月もかかる。着くまでに村に何かあったらと思うと。なんだその眩しいものを見るような目は。おっさんだぞ俺は。ご安心ください。この村の司法にあなた様のよりしろを捧げれば同等の効果を得られます。よりしろ？極利。髪や血などです。髪、毛根、40代、薄毛。血だ！血にする！血しかない！しかし、近江に傷が。血がダメなら王都には行かない！枝が必要なんだな。よいしょ。お待ちください。切りすぎた。うわー！聖女様ね。流れに身を任せてついてきてしまったな。聖女様、疲れていませんか？こちらに毛布が。聖女様、お腹は空いていませんか？リンゴにパンにスープに。何か不自由なことはありませんか？聖女様。うわ！その聖女様って呼ぶの。いや、なんでもない。はい、聖女様。聖女様、夜は冷えますので毛布を。いや、大丈夫だから。今の時期になると村では。聖女様、着きましたよ。おお、これが王都。すごいもんだな。なんか門番と揉めてる？
だから聖女様はすでに見つかったと言っているだろう。大体なんだあんなおっさん連れてきて。
聖女様、これは門番よ、気持ちはわかる。こんなおっさんが聖女だったら いろんな夢が壊れてしまうもんな。あ、うん、そういうことなら帰るんで、騒がせて申し訳ない。お待ちください。どうかもう少しだけお付き合いいただけませんか。わかったから顔を上げてくれ。全部任せるから。詳細が分かりました。我々が到着する数時間前に聖女様を名乗る美女が神殿にやってきたらしいです。あくまで聞いた話ですが、26歳のその女性は自分が聖女だとは気づいていたが、病気の母親と引き離されたくなくて今まで隠れていた。今になって名乗り出たのは、その母親がとうとう空へ旅立ったからとのことです。そのまま本になりそうなくらい泣ける話だな。完璧だ。万一にも間違いがあってはいけませんから。これからお二人ともが当代の聖女様とお会いすることになりました。今度は鑑定じゃないのか。詳しくは明らかにされていないのですが、聖女様には聖女様同士ならではの識別方法があるそうです。ま、ここまでの馬車代だと思って頑張るか。なんかすごい場所だな。これは緊張してきたぞ。こちらです。聖女の像。あれが
聖女様発見の報を聞いた時はさすが首席騎士と思ったものだが、まさかそちらの方のことか。
そうだ。
静粛に。
この方が聖女様。
出よ。騎士たちも近くへ。
なんだこれから一体何が。ここは。聖女様、お目覚めですか。確か聖女様にお会いして、それから急速に意識が遠のいて。こいつ俺をここまで運んできたのか。なんかすまん、重かっただろうに。いいえ、ご無事であればそれで。なあ、俺が聖女じゃないことは判明したんだから、もうそんな態度じゃなくても。さっき俺を聖女様って呼んだか。ひとまず食事にしましょうか。これうまいな。着替えならお手伝いを。いや、いいって。じゃあ俺は13日も寝ていたのかよ。はい。
やはりエミリア様こそが聖女様だ。詐欺を働いた二人が捕らえろ。大勢で騒ぐ
な。こちらのお方が時代です。凄まじい力をお持ちなので、この国のすべての憂いを払ってくださるでしょう。
で、晴れて俺はおっさんなのに聖女になり、美少女とその騎士は捕まったと。そして先代の聖女様はつい昨日、神の身元へと旅立たれました。手記とお手紙を受け取っております。 読まれますか？ああ。どうして俺は読めないはずの字が読めるんだろう。なんで知らないはずのことを知っているんだろう。手紙にはこう書いてあった。本来は直接説明するべきことだが、自分にはその時間が残されていないこと。代わりに手記と手紙を残すこと。聖女としての知識は代々例の儀式で受け継がれてきたこと。しばらくは引き出すのに苦労するだろうが、自分の中に答えはあるから安心してほしいということ。そしてこの国を頼むという言葉。もし俺が別のところに生まれていたら、地図にも載ってない小さな村ではなく、鑑定がすぐにできる町に住んでいたら、もっと長く話せたのだろうか。じっくりと聖女の仕事について学ぶことができたのだろうか。彼女はもっと長く生きられたのだろうか。祈りを捧げに行く。案内してもらえるか？もちろんです。こうして俺はおっさんなのに聖女になった。せーの、アンジェンテ。アンジェンテは好きが見つかる新しい BL ボイスコミックチャンネルです。この動画を好きと思ったらチャンネル登録、高評価ボタンをお願いします。おっさんだけど聖女ですは全国の書店、各電子ストアで大好評発売中。動画にはないシーンやセリフもありますので、ぜひそちらもチェックしてみてくださいね。好きなものを好きなだけ。今日がちょっといい日になる。そんな時間をあなたにお届けしていきます。アンジェンテの応援よろしくお願いします。聖女様。おっさんに名前を呼ばれたくらいで嬉しそうにすんな。アンジェンテ、おっさんだけど聖女です。これはかなりまずいな。知識は頭の中にあるというのは本当だったらしい。ここが俺の村、そして国全体を覆うこの闇こそが汚れ。かなり広がってしまっている。おそらくだが先代の聖女様の力はかなり薄れてしまっていたのだろう。俺が見つかるのが遅かったから。やはり浄化には相当な体力を使うみたいだ。そういえば聖女を語ったあの女の子はヴィーラントだっけ？はい。聖女様。村人の俺が気安く呼んだら迷惑だろうと遠慮していたが、今は一応聖女らしいからな。名前で呼んだ方がいいだろう。って思って呼んだだけなんだが、そのめちゃめちゃいい笑顔はなんだ。おっさんに名前を呼ばれたくらいで嬉しそうにすんな。ヴィーラント、頼みたいことがある。なんなりと。それじゃあ。お待たせいたしました。こちらを。ありがとう。この国では聖女は他に並ぶ者のいない高貴な人とされている。あらゆる特権を持つ聖女だからこそ、聖女を語るのは重罪だ。良くて追放、悪くて斬首。俺がもし聖女じゃなかったら今頃。この子、病気の母ちゃんがいるってのは本当だったんだろう。ええ、ただ亡くなってはおらず、すでに黒幕の手から救い出しております。母の命を盾に娘を利用するか。最低だな、外道め。彼女が困ってないか 気になって状況を聞いたが、思ったよりひどいな。彼女の元へ案内してくれ。しかし今は地下牢に。ヴィーラント、聖女様。よし。
どうしてこんなことに。
この魔力量、すごい。失礼ですが、ご両親ともに平民ですか？
母は平民ですが、父のことはわかりません。
となると、今は母子二人でお住まいで？
はい。今になって思えば、このやりとりが私の運命を分けたのだろう。それから少し経った時、下町にヘレナさんという女性が流れてきて、母と仲良くなった。
それでね、ヘレナったら。
お母さん！ヘレナさんは、母が倒れるなり、知り合いの治療師さんに渡りをつけてくれ、高額な薬代の一部を助けてくれた。病の研究をしているという貴族を紹介してくれたのも彼女だ。彼は優しかった。母にたくさん高価な薬を使ってくれ、私はヘレナさんと彼に心から感謝していた。ほんの1ヶ月前のあの日までは。すみません。今、なんて。
君には聖女になってほしいんだ。
え？聖女様を語るということですか？そんな恐ろしいことはできません。ヘレナさん！
あれの毒を増やせ。死なない程度に、こいつがおとなしくなるように。
そうよ。私がずっと持っていたの。
お母さん！
エミリア、そんな顔しないで。ヘレナがここまで来てくれたの。きっとまたすぐ元気に。はーい。片方には毒が、片方には薬が入ってるわ。お母さんにどちらを飲ませるのかはすべてあなたの返答次第よ。
お母さん。あなたは？
ゼフだ。
エミリアと申します。聖女様。この度は、本当に、申し訳ございませんでした。どんな罰でも受け入れます。
罰を与えに来たわけじゃないんだがな。エミーリア、今日は君と話がしたくて来たんだ。なんていうか、辛かったな。
いえ、私が 神を欺こうとしたのは事実です。ですから、
母ちゃんを守りたいのは当たり前だろう。エミーリアのおかげで母ちゃんは無事だ。安心していい。
ありがとうございます。ありがとうございます。
もう大丈夫だ。
聖女様が床に。
さて、エミーリア。さっきの言葉に嘘はないか？
はい。どんな罰でも受け入れます。
死ぬより辛いかもしれないけど。
覚悟の上です。
そうか。そしたら、俺の代わりに聖女になってくれ。いろいろと事情はあるんだが、詳しい話は移動してからでもいいか？よっこらせ。おっさんには冷たい床が答えてな。
聖女様、しかし牢から出すのは。
表向きは追放刑。助けてくれたら嬉しいけど、もし話を聞いて難しいと思ったらそっちを選んでくれてもいい。ほら、行った行った。いててててて。というわけで、彼女に俺の代わりに聖女になってもらいたいと頼んだんだ。理由はいくつかあるんだが、最大の理由がこれだ。黒い丸は現地に赴かないと払えないほど強い汚れを示してる。
これほどと。しかし聖女様を現地になど。
俺が通常の聖女のように神殿に閉じこもってたら、この国は滅びの道をたどる。ここでできる限りの浄化をしたら、俺は現地で汚れを払いたい。いや、払わなきゃならない。
しかし、それで御身に何かあったら。
それなんだが、鑑定士をもらえるか？やっぱりな。聖女の力を引き継いだからか、魔力が上がってるんだ。
本当だ。さすが聖女様。
このレベルなら危険もないだろ。歴代の聖女よりもだいぶ高いはずだ。
それで、私に聖女になれとおっしゃったのは、聖女様のご不在が明るみに出ないようにするためですか？
そうだ。聖女として旅をするとなると大ごとになって人数が増えるだろ。そうなると移動が遅くなるし、いろいろと警戒しなきゃいけなくなる。残念ながらそこまで悠長にしていられる状況じゃないんだよな。エミーリアが無理なら諦めるしかないけど、ほとんど神殿から出なかった聖女様もいるくらいだし、どうしても必要な時だけ表に出てくれればいい。母ちゃんと暮らせるし、結婚なんかも思いのままだ。
私は神に背いた大罪人です。死しても償いきれないほどの罪を犯しました。それでももし私が聖女様のお役に立てるのなら、お手伝いさせていただきたいです。
ありがとう。助かる。ああ、若さって眩しい。他のみんなもよろしく頼む。
聖女様がそうおっしゃるなら。
よし、気になってたことの一つは解決だ。あとは浄化の優先順位だけ確認して、浄化後にしばらく寝込むかもしれないことを伝えて、あとどこかに空いてる部屋はないか？物置でも何でもいいんだが。
どこでもご用意できますが、どんな部屋がいいでしょうか？何に使われる部屋ですか？
俺が寝る部屋。ああ、そうだ。これから気絶する予定だから、運び込みやすいところだといいかもしれない。無理ならそのまま転がしといてくれても。何かまずいことでも言っただろうか。
聖女様、少しお話が。せーの、アンジェンテ。アンジェンテは好きが見つかる新しい BL ボイスコミックチャンネルです。この動画を好きと思ったらチャンネル登録高評価ボタンをお願いします。おっさんだけど聖女ですは全国の書店各電子ストアで大好評発売中。動画にはないシーンやセリフもありますので、ぜひそちらもチェックしてみてくださいね。好きなものを好きなだけ、今日がちょっといい日になる、そんな時間をあなたにお届けしていきます。アンジェンテの応援よろしくお願いします。悪い、少し休んだら肩だけ貸してもらえるか。なりません。咎めは後で受けます。アンジェンテ、おっさんだけど聖女です。なんだ、あるじゃないか普通の部屋が。おお。たく、あいつら解き伏せるのに苦労したぜ。質素な部屋の方が落ち着く。表向きはエミーリアが聖女だから。この服もありがとうな。これで俺も旗から見たら聖女様直属の騎士か。ってカヒン、ディルク。こうやって見ると騎士の中でもヴィーラントはどうしても目立つんだな。よし、浄化に必要なのはこんなもんだな。倒れた後一人で運ばせちゃうけど悪いな。そのために鍛えていますので。そのため？剣がこれで。そうだな。何日寝込むかわからないし、いろいろ言っとかなきゃ。聖女様の弔いは済ませたから、国葬はエミーリアにお願いして、あの子の母ちゃんも病状が落ち着いたら、奥宮に住まわせてやってくれ。血を捧げることは他の連中には内緒な。はい。よし、一丁始めるとするか。まずはやはりこれだけでは浄化の効果が薄すぎるな。供物を糧に汚れを払いたまえ。よかった、うまくいくそ、しんどかった。俺が気絶している間に先代の国葬は終わり、エミーリアの母ちゃんも奥宮に引っ越してきていた。初めての儀式だったとはいえ何とも情けない。にしてもなあ、起きてから3日経つけどダメです。いい加減浄化しねえとまた汚れが増えちまうだろ。では血は捧げないとお約束してくださいますか。それは無理だ。たった数日寝込むくらいで民が救われるなら安い代償だろ。神を捧げるわけでもないし。血を捧げないわけにはいかないが、もう少し加減しようとは思ってる。
ありがとうございます。なんとか今回は気絶せずに済んだな。聖女様、大丈夫だ。悪い。少し休んだら肩だけ貸してもらえるか。なりません。咎めは後で受けます。これはお姫様抱っこ。まさかこの年で。すぐにベッドでお休みください。失礼します。嫌に手慣れてるのは気のせいか。もう二度と無理して浄化したりしない。自分で歩くだけの余力は残す。絶対にだ。翌日。なんだこれ。昨日は申し訳ございませんでした。どんな罰でも受ける所存です。何のことだ。命令に背き許可なく御身に触れました。いや、助かった。あの運び方は勘弁してほしいが。お嫌でしたか。いやっつうかなんつうか、肩に担ぐとか背負うとか、もっと他の運び方があるだろ。肩に担ぐと腹部が圧迫され、お体によくありません。はあ？また背負ってしまうと御身の背後が無防備になってしまいます。こいつ過保護すぎやしないか。うすうす感じてはいたが、まさかとは思うが、今まで俺が気絶した時も。はい、同じように運ばせていただきました。ヴィーラントが善意でやったことだ。分かってるが、やり場のない気持ち。聖女様。聖女様、汚れは相当マシになってきたな。確か聖女のお披露目は2週間後だっけか。20年以上探されていた歴代随一の力を持つ聖女。その姿を一目見ようと王都はもちろん周辺の町の宿すら全て埋まっているらしく、その人気ぶりがうかがえる。期待を込めて遠路はるばるやってきた彼ら、そこに満を持して現れる純白の服を着た42のおっさん。辛すぎる。本当にエミーリアがいてよかった。
聖女様、どこか具合でも悪い？いつもどこか痛い？失礼いたしました。
馬車で都を一周した後、広場で祈りを捧げ民たちに祝福をね。はい、その間聖女様にはエミーリア様の騎士に扮して近くに控えていただきます。祈りも祝福もしなきゃだもんな。警備の観点から見てもお二人が近くにいてくださると助かります。なるほどな。あんまり目立ちたくねえな。
大丈夫かエミリア。ガタついてるけど。
ゼフ様、大丈夫です。ちょっと緊張してるだけで。
無理はするなよ。適当に笑ってればいいはずだからな。ってこんなこと言うと怖い騎士様に怒られそうだけどね。
ゼフ、怒るだなんて人聞きが悪いですね。無理はするなという言葉がゼフから出たことに驚いただけです。
ほら怖いだろ。
おお、これが聖女様の祈り。
聖女様、聖女様万歳。
聖女様。
聖女様。
あの不吉な気配は消えたか。もう大丈夫だから笑ってな。多分毒だ。それもかなりタチの悪いやつ。しっかりしてください。どんな毒かもわからないのになんて無茶を。ヴィーラント。
せーの、アンジェンテ。
アンジェンテは好きが見つかる新しい BL ボイスコミックチャンネルです。この動画を好きと思ったらチャンネル登録高評価ボタンをお願いします。
おっさんだけど聖女ですは全国の書店各電子ストアで大好評発売中。動画にはないシーンやセリフもありますのでぜひそちらもチェックしてみてくださいね。
好きなものを好きなだけ。今日がちょっといい日になる。
そんな時間をあなたにお届けしていきます。アンジェンテの応援よろしくお願いします。どうしてゼフは自分を大切にしないのですか？
何も特別なことじゃない。きっと誰だってそうするだろう。
アンジェンテ、おっさんだけど聖女です。聖女様。
聖女様が目覚められた。
聖女様。ヴィーラントか。エミーリアまで。ここは聖女様のお部屋です。
そうか、聖女様の。ってことはこれエミーリアのベッドか。カレー臭が。毒は解毒できたか。あの嫌の汚れはただごとではなかった。引き抜いたヴィーラントもきっと。ヴィーラント、手を見せろ。見せろと言ってる。これはひどい。このままではいずれ手が腐り落ちてしまう。たくちょっと無茶が過ぎるんじゃないか。これだから騎士は。
それをあなたがおっしゃいますか？
天に増します神々を。
聖女様、おやめください。
まだ勢力が回復しておりません。
聖女様、
汚れを払い癒したまえ。
聖女様、聖女様、聖女様、しっかり。 また気絶してたのか。ずっと手を握って起こすとまずいよな。なんて顔してんだ。美形が台無しだぞ。ゼフはどうしてどうしてゼフは自分を大切にしないのですか。エミーリアをかばって血を流し、私を治して気を失って、どうして恩義を顧みてくださらないのですか。どうしてって言われてもな。別にそんな素晴らしいもんじゃないさ。俺の代わりにエミーリアが狙われたからかばった。俺を助けようとしてヴィーラントが傷ついたから治した。何も特別なことじゃない。きっと誰だってそうするだろ。そうですね。みんな心配かけてすまなかった。
聖女様の頭を。
おかげでなんとか楽になってきたよ。おい、なんでひざまずいてんだ。あれから何があったのか詳しく教えてくれ。なるほど。お披露目自体はきちんと終わったけど、犯人の手がかりはまだないと。はい、目下捜索中です。すまん。犯人は分かってるから探さなくていい。
え？
どういうことか伺っても。その魔王って知ってるか。魔王、人の負の感情が集まって汚れとなり、汚れにまみれた獣はやがて魔獣となる。魔獣に襲われた人間は恐れ、悲しみ、さらに負の感情を溢れさせる。その悪循環の果てに生まれるのが魔王だ。最後に魔王が現れたのはおよそ300年前。世界を汚れで染め上げんとする魔王はまず天敵である聖女殺害を試みる。それが難しい場合、次に狙うのは魔獣の暴走、スタンピードだ。通常は汚れが域地を超えると起きるものだが、魔王はこれを意図的に起こせるのだ。俺が聖女になってから少しずつ浄化を進めてきたが、まだ汚れはひどく、魔王が発生するだけの条件は揃っていた。矢を放ったあいつは間違いなく魔王だった。ただおそらくまだ子供だ。浄化を進めていけば倒せる可能性は十分にあると思う。自信はない。魔王、まさかそんな。残念ながらそのまさかだ。まだ成長しきってはいなかったけど、無策で叶う相手じゃない。攻撃を受けた時も誰も察知できなかったろ。責めてるわけじゃなくて、魔王はそういう存在なんだ。聖女か勇者でなければ対抗できず、下手に手を出すと最悪の種となる。もっと汚れを払ってからでないと倒すことは難しい。汚れの浄化が先だ。はい。というわけで早速俺は白の間に。ダメです。エミーリアにも心配かけちまったな。
いえ、気になさらないでください。
この包帯はやりすぎじゃ。いいえ、
傷の痛みもようやく気にならなくなってきたな。
お上手ですね。
普通だろ。動かねえし、的。
そんなものですか？
うん、もうちょい寄っていいかもな。傷の影響か単なる癖かわかんねえが。
ゼフは戻りたいとは思いませんか？あの村であなたは何不自由なく幸せに暮らしていました。今のように身を削ることも命を脅かされることもなく、ただのびのびと。その姿を思い出すたびに、これで良かったのかわからなくなるんです。
良かったのかなんて言ったらいいかわかんないけど、そうだな。俺が頑張るだけでみんなが安心して暮らせるなら安いもんじゃないか。
あなたという人は。
結局旅立ちは秋になった。この国全体の浄化はかなり進んで、残すは直接行かないと浄化できないところだけ。魔王はあれから現れてないが、きっと俺を待ち構えてるはずだ。じゃ行ってくるから、何があっても神殿からは出ないでくれ。
はい、帰りをお待ちしております。
さあ、リンゴも毛布もありますよ。
デジャブ。町まではもう少しかかりそうだな。
ゼフも今のうちにお休みください。この先は何が起こるか分かりませんから。
なあ、寝る前に一つ聞いてもいいか？
何なりと。
ビーラントはどうして一人で聖女を探していたんだ？基本は3人1組らしいじゃないか。各地で騎士団へ赴くたびに周辺を探したり、自由に動くために先代の直属騎士への昇進も断ったって聞いたし、なんでそこまでして探していたんだ？
自分でもよくわからないんです。私の家は代々聖女様に仕えている家系で、私も当然そうなるのだと、次代の聖女様に仕えるのだと思っていました。だから最初は何気なくあなたを探し始めて、なのにずっと見つからなくて、探しているうちにわからなくなりました。
わからないって？
どうして聖女様を探しているのか、本当に国のためなのか、自分の欲を満たすため、自分が筆頭騎士になるために聖女様を探しているだけなのではないか。そんな思いが拭い去れなくて、いつしかどれだけ探しても聖女様が見つからないことに安堵するようになっていたんです。
筆頭騎士にならなくてよかったのか？俺と一緒にいる以上筆頭騎士にはなれないんだろ。表向きはエミーリアが聖女だから。
村から王都に向かっている時、立ち寄った村のことを覚えていますか？
地名はわからんが、いくつも立ち寄ったことくらいは。
あなたはいつも自然と誰かを助けていました。病気の父を持つ女の子には薬草を煎じ、腰の曲がった老婆の家では力仕事を手伝って。あの時のあなたはまだ正式に聖女様とは認められていなくて、決して裕福というわけでもなくて、 それでも心のままに神に手を伸ばすあなたを見て分かったんです。私は聖女様を探していたのでも、筆頭騎士の座を求めていたわけでもなく、生涯を捧げられる主人こそ求めていたのだと。
こいつの中でどれだけ美化されてるんだ。俺、買いかぶりすぎだ。
お仕えできて幸せです。
この話はもうやめよう。
はい。せーの、アンジェンテ。
アンジェンテは好きが見つかる新しい BL ボイスコミックチャンネルです。この動画を好きと思ったらチャンネル登録高評価ボタンをお願いします。
おっさんだけど聖女ですは全国の書店各電子ストアで大好評発売中。動画にはないシーンやセリフもありますので、ぜひそちらもチェックしてみてくださいね。
好きなものを好きなだけ、今日がちょっといい日になる、
そんな時間をあなたにお届けしていきます。アンジェンテの応援よろしくお願いします。
誰かに加護を与えるためには相手と交わる必要がある。
好きです。受け入れてほしいとは申しません。ただどうか私に加護をお与えください。アンジェンテ、おっさんだけど聖女です。
これはひどいな。人気がないし残ってる人たちも。ここは何があったんだ。
領主の悪性です。先代の聖女様が異変を察し領主を罷免したのですが、折悪く不作が重なってあまたの人死にが出てしまったと。
そうか。
ようこそいらっしゃいました、聖女様。
我々は聖女様の命で参った直属の騎士です。神殿から出られない聖女様に代わり各地を回り民を慰める役割を担っております。しばらくお邪魔させていただき、
お待ちしておりました。
よろしくお願いします。
おくつろぎください。
ありがとうございます。
早速聖女だと見破られたかと思ったぜ。
次の方どうぞ。
ありがとうございます。
また病人か。孤児院はなんとかなってるが療養院の人手が足りてないみたいだな。ってことで俺は浄化に行くから、みんなには療養院の方を任せてもいいか。
お待ちください。一人で行くおつもりですか。
ディルクにカヒブまで。な、俺がこれから向かうのは人も魔人化するほど汚れの濃いところだ。お前らを連れて行けるはずないだろう。
それならなおさら引きません。我々はあなたの盾なのです。
俺が誰かを盾にできると思うか。敵がお前らを盾にした時俺が見捨てられると思うか。もしお前らが魔人化したら。
それでもどうか何か方法はないのですか。あるのですね。
くそ、何も言ってないのになぜバレた。なんとかはぐらかすのは無理か。言いたくない。とにかくこうしてる時間も惜しい。ディルク、カヒブ、先に行って療養院の様子を見てきてくれないか。治療薬はいくら使ってもいい。
はい。
説得を頼む。
了解した。ついていく許可をいただけないなら勝手についていきます。でももしきちんと同行できる方法があるのなら、あなたの足手まといにならずに済むのなら、それを教えてはいただけませんか。
その顔は反則だろ。汚れが濃厚な場所は魔獣が多く、魔王がいる可能性すらある。普通の人間が近づけば性が歪められて魔人となる。しかし聖女が加護を与えれば汚れに対抗できる力を得られる。場合によっては魔王すら倒せるかもしれない。だがその方法は
ごくり。
言いたくねえ。言うしかないのは分かってるけど言いたくないもんは言いたくねえ。つまりだな。誰かに加護を与えるためには、相手と交わる必要がある。
交わると言いますと？
キスとかそれ以上の行為とかだ。行為の度合いによって得られる加護の大きさが変わる。勇者はそうして加護を受けて魔王を倒した。
確かに歴代の勇者様は皆聖女様と結婚していましたね。そんな理由だったとは思いもしませんでしたが。ブツブツブツブツ。
ほう。この反応なら血迷ったことは言い出さないかな。ともかくこれで分かっただろう。加護を得るために俺とどうこうなんて考えられるか？できないだろう。だから
嘘というわけではないのですよね。
なんで嘘をつく必要がある？
私の気持ちに気がついて試そうとなさっているとか。
気持ち試すって何を？
一生言うつもりはなかったのですが。お慕い申し上げております。加護を与えるためだとしても、触れることを許されるなら、それはとても嬉しいです。
ありえない。将来有望な美形騎士がこんな面白みもないおっさんを。よく意味が。
好きです。受け入れてほしいとは申しません。ただどうか私に加護をお与えください。
いや、俺は加護なんて与えるつもりは。
あなたが危険な目に遭うのはとても耐えられない。あんな思いはもう二度と。私がお嫌でしたら他のものでも構いませんので、どうか誰かをお連れください。どうか。
この顔はやっぱり反則だ。キスくらいならまあ、何の価値もないおっさんの唇だしな。だって分かったよ。まさかヴィーラントとキスする日が来るとはな。毎回これをやることになるのか。体の方は大丈夫か？痛みとか苦しいとか。
いえ、むしろ何でもありません。大丈夫です。大丈夫です。行きましょう。
あんまり大丈夫そうには見えないけど、まあいいか。
軽くですが、魔獣の多い場所はいくつか聞きました。とりあえずそちらに向かえばよろしいですか？
おお、すげえ。いつの間に有能。 来たか。せい。想像以上にしんどいな。はっ。ここに一人で来るおつもりだったのですか。おかげで助かってる。これからも必ずお連れください。早く行くぞ。主だ、来るぞ。必ず当てる。ここだ。はあ。あとは。よし、これで。これは積んだな。まあ、最悪死にはしないだろう。え？ヴィーラントの風魔法。このバカ。すまん。悪かった。これが核だな。
核、その地の心臓のようなもの。核が汚れるとその地も汚れてしまう。
よし。さすがにちょっと疲れたな。全身クタクタだ。
少し休んでから戻りましょうか。
ああ、腹が減った。
さあ、手を。
腰が痛えんだって。2日後。今日はまた浄化に行くから、看護を。はい。おっさんだぞ俺は。なんでそんな嬉しそうなんだよ。
ゼフ。
本当にダメになりそうだ。これは看護を与えるためにしていることで、粘膜の接触が必要だからしているだけで、それ以上でもそれ以下でもない。なのになんでこんな。
療養院の患者も全員治療していただき、魔獣もほとんど見かけなくなりました。聖女様、本当にありがとうございました。
オートにいらっしゃる聖女様にそう伝えておく。俺が聖女だと気づいているんだろうか。いってってって。ようやく一箇所浄化したが、まだ回るところはたくさんある。とりあえず治癒の霊薬を作って、ヴィーラントの武器も。これはわざわざ見送りに。みんな元気になったんだな。
this like, I don't know, like doing this like flow motion of like all of these different things, like pulling the one leg and then this like noticing how you like wiggle like this and then adjusting that and all of that. Okay, yeah. So, but you don't want to share why well, anyways, it doesn't matter too much actually. But like, has there been something which is also like mentally impacting with the emergency services being there? Like, is it not just the inconvenience of these people being at the like office and you having to sort of like handle them, tell them all of like what they want to know? But is it also that like the fate of a patient or something was influenced, which is sort of like weighing you down? Yeah, that's why I was sort of like, actually, like, I'm just not gonna, like, it doesn't matter anyway, and that's not like really what I want to know. So rephrasing. I'm honestly really thankful that I don't have any like major disabilities, because honestly our world is like really shit with helping people like this to like a really normal life. So I don't know, like while I do think it's sort of like putting you in contact with like topics which other people might just sort of miss, sort of like if you have like a mental health issue, once you are in therapy and stuff like this, you sort of like you learn a bunch about it and are maybe like even more resilient than a person who like has never been in therapy because they didn't need to as well. But like you have sort of like you've gone through the process of dealing with problems and now you're sort of empowered that you can deal with those problems. So I guess sort of like this also comes with like any type of disability, that you like learn to overcome like specific problems and then you're empowered to be able to overcome any of them like in that area. But at the same time, it's just I don't know, there's like so many disabilities where you just like can't really overcome the problem, but you can only like walk around it. And some of those workarounds are just, I don't know, like keeping you back from things other people like can choose to do or not do, and you can't. And I think that's, I don't know, like sometimes I feel like, oh damn, like I'm like so tiny, like I would have never, like the chance of me becoming like a basketball pro player or something are like not there or something. But at the same time, like I could still play basketball because I can walk and shit like this. Like it's like there's like little options like sort of being denied. And I feel like once you're disabled in like anything, like have like any major disability, like there's a bunch of things which are just not really on the plate of options anymore. So that's really annoying. Or hell, while I'm alone there, don't have to strength for another day. Pick and choose. Yeah. Well, I mean, autism, ADHD, all of this, like, as of now in the definition of the DSM-5 is a disability. But that's why the, like, we talked about this in other streams before already, right? So that's why the diagnosis actually is so annoying, and like a lot of people like sort of hate it, because especially if you are on the neurodivergent spectrum, you don't really understand, like people need to tell you that the diagnosis for ADHD or autism or any of that is not a diagnosis for ADHD, autism, or any of that like it's portrayed, but it's a diagnosis if you suffer enough to the point where you should get disability sort of like help from the state under ADHD, autism, or whatever. So you can very well have ADHD and get a negative diagnosis because in your life specifically you don't suffer enough from ADHD. The same with like autism and those things. So yeah. Doesn't mean ADHD like needs to be like a disability where it's like you're disabled in comparison to like a neurotypical person. It's, I don't know, something I personally just sort of like hated. Yeah. Well, I feel like neurotypical persons like also sort of like need to learn with to live with it, right? But I guess it's like just sort of like harder for like how we learn and how life is portrayed and like what type of like representation we have in society to learn to live with it as a neurodivergent person. But yeah, so the diagnosis is not if you have it or not, the diagnosis is if you suffer enough under it or not. So yeah, I feel like that's honestly like personally like I really hate that it's sort of treated like this, because it's just like I don't know, like I really don't like the picture of it, but I guess it's just I hate the picture of it because we do live in a society where ableism is just so common. And I think in that moment where I don't like it, it's sort of like yeah, I guess it's sort of like a sign of like recognizing that just recognizing my bias, sort of like my expectation of society or my because like with a lot of disabilities it's like that, right? Like you could be suffering under it, but if your life accommodates for it, or like if you can create a life around you which accommodates for it and find a way to sort of like integrate your life around it like really well, then it's like you don't have to have like a worse life because of it. But you could. The same like with like ADHD and autism. Like you could definitely like suffer under it, like suffer under having it. Like with both of those things, it can be like really isolating. It can be that you can't like properly work because of it, or that you can't do a lot of the things we like usually do and which is sort of like necessary for like a really like healthy life. For example, like I don't know, like just taking part in like society, which I guess is the same for like if you were to see somebody like in a wheelchair, it's like I don't know, like they don't necessarily have to have a worse life because of it. Like maybe they have like really good friends which are like helping them with stuff. They have like a really good apartment where like everything is accommodated for this. They have also like the apartment itself is like accommodating for it, and they sort of like integrated their life around it in a way where it's actually not really like there's nothing they like miss or whatever. it's like, I guess it's like a weird situation, right? Because I guess as a neurotypical person, but I wouldn't like with mental health as well, like it can like hit everybody, right? So like, but yeah, I guess depression is like also like yeah. Yeah, I feel like I really don't like the word of it. I feel like the word disability for me really sort of like, it's a really literal way of like you can't do that or this or whatever. Where it's like with, I don't know, with somebody who like can't walk, like calling it a disability seems like more reasonable to me, because like, yeah, like you can't walk and like nothing will change the fact that you can't walk, but you don't like need to suffer under it. And that's like, I see that sort of like in separate categories, where it's like for ADHD, where it's something like mental, I'm like, especially, well, I guess, yeah, it's like also something you can't like fix, right? Like you will always, like, it's something you have from birth, like you can't overcome it or anything, like you have it, but you just adjust your life around it. And there's always gonna be some situations where you personally really suck, but you can just, I guess, like more easily maybe than with a person who can't walk, adjust your life around like not being in, like not putting yourself in those situations where you suck. Yeah. I feel like I just don't like the word disability, because it sort of like implies that you're just not able to do that. Where I feel like with a lot of disabilities, if you get the right adjustments, like if your situation, like you can adjust the situation to a point where you actually can do like a lot of the things neurotypical people can do. And I feel, yeah, I just feel like I hate the word disability, because it seems like there's nothing you can do about it, while there is something you can do about it. It's just like, it just takes more effort. Yeah. I feel like if I would see it as like different abilities in terms of like disabilities, like in my like sort of like understanding of the language, more like non-ability or like not working ability, like, but like you don't have that ability. Like the different abilities, like, yeah, like that makes sense. And it like different ability describes like how you need to like change the situation to fit you, while I feel like disability for me personally describes how you're just fucked in that specific, like there's nothing people can do about it. Like it's just like, it's like over for you in that point. I don't know. Hi Jolly, welcome. And hi Raven. I'm glad you two are here. I hope you've been doing well. It changes depending on how society is set up too. Yeah, definitely. I feel like maybe like, I'm not sure if it's like, if I necessarily hate the word disability because of the societal implications of it, of the word, or if it's just one of those moments where I'm like really literal. So I'm not entirely sure. You've been busy with your studies at university? How is it going with those studies? If you say you're busy, is it busy in like a good way? Where you get like good returns or whatever? Or like... That's exactly my point. It comes with a prejudgment stigma to it before even giving that person a chance to even live their life or trying to prove a point. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. That's why sort of like I really don't like the word of disability. And like, that's why like when Fluffy was actually saying like, oh, like, yeah, like ADHD is officially a disability. And I was like, yeah, like in the DSM-5, like ADHD, autism, all of that is a disability, but I actually hate that. And then I thought about, yeah, well, actually, like just how like I phrase why I hate that ADHD is called a disability, because I'm like, well, you like have it all your life and it's only called ADHD actually if you like suffer under ADHD enough that it's like disabling to you. But if you like sort of like evolve your life around it in a very specific way and adjust your situation, you could technically have ADHD but be diagnosed negative because you don't suffer enough under it. While I personally see ADHD as sort of like the as that thing, you like your brain is just different from birth and like it's never going to change. Like you always had ADHD and you always will have ADHD, while your suffering under ADHD can change because you can do something about it. And yeah, I was like, well, I guess with like having like not being able to walk, I do see the word disability. But then again, I sort of like connected the dots to the ADHD situation. I was like, well, but it doesn't mean that the life of that person is worse just because they can't walk. Like you can build a life where it really doesn't matter if you can't walk or not. So it's essentially, it doesn't matter if it's ADHD or you're actually not being able to walk. Like both of those things, you can't do anything about it. And you will have, but you can do something about the suffering and you can minimize the suffering of it because you can adjust the situation to your different abilities. So I really like calling it different abilities. But yeah, I just really hate calling it disabilities because it seems so finite. Like it seems like the suffering is fixed. Like you will always suffer under it. Where I feel like this, I don't know, I don't feel like that's the thing we should take away from this. And I feel like that's sort of like also part of ableism, right? Because it just implies that the life of a person with a disability is just gonna be worse than the life of a person with no disability, which doesn't need to be the case. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Like if you were to like go that way where you're like, okay, this disability is making your life worse than the life of a normal person and that's why your life is essentially like less worth, then like where do you end? Like there's really no end to this. Like you could always stretch it a little further. Like yeah, so I don't know, like I really hate the word disability, I think. But I don't like, is the word necessarily, is it just how society is seeing it, or is that really what the word means? Like, literally. Like, what does the word disability mean literally? Yeah. No, it definitely, the word literally means without that power skill or whatever. Well, but it just says without. It is. So technically it, because that, like, walking disability, like, yeah, you're like without the power of walking. Doesn't mean your life is worse. ADHD without the power of with concentration and whatever. Yeah. Damn. So it's definitely, damn. Yeah, exactly. Like, your life can suck ass because you're poor. You can also actually live in a like, you can be like, there's people who are poor who like, who still have a good life, who like maybe live like in a third world country where they earn like nothing, right? But they sort of have a house and they're like happy, you know? Where it's like, if you're poor in like, I don't know, America, you fucking die. So yeah, and that's like also like majorly impacting your life. So exactly, like, if you start to compare life in terms of like ability and implying like quality of life to ability, and then implying worth to quality of life, it gets dark real quick. So what did I now just uncover? Like, did I uncover... I just sort of uncovered how this like more like deeper sort of like common ableism in our society, right? I just got some privilege. My grandma brought me pudding. That's amazing. That's actually, that's serious privilege right there. Like, abolish billionaires. Abolish billionaire jolly. Billionaire of pudding. Grandma pudding even. That's too good. I was diagnosed with ADHD. I was diagnosed with dyslexia. I don't need to get tested to know I have autism. I also was diagnosed with the gay from a young age. Yeah. Actually, I still haven't been diagnosed with autism. We still haven't properly talked about it. I'm not sure if I'm actually gonna get the diagnosis because, yeah, I'm not... At the moment, I'm not quite suffering too much under it. So, yeah, it's weird. I don't care about the word so much, not gonna lie, but if you are debuffed in life, then you are disabled, or any other words you would choose for it. Yeah. But it's like, yeah, I just... Okay. So I guess in that sense, I just sort of... I guess honestly, I sort of like uncovered like the ableism which was still like in my worldview. Not necessarily on others, but just what I expect from the world. That I don't like when people call like ADHD and autism disability, because I don't like how it's implied, how it implies less ability in like normal life and not only in like very specific situations. Where it's probably like, yeah, like the same for I don't know, like people can't walk and are in a wheelchair, which I then like always faced with this like implied thing of like, oh well, but you probably like can't party, or like you probably can't, I don't know, are not like the fun person to go shopping with or whatever, or you probably can't actually, yeah, have kids. Like, that's out there. Like, that's so annoying. It's like there's always like there's so weird comments always about the sexual abilities of people with disabilities that I'm like, I get it that people are curious, but ask ChatGPT. Just ask ChatGPT. Why do you have to ask an actual person? This is like, you don't even know them. They're like randoms on the internet. This is so weird. I don't know. Also, for usually all disabilities, it's like, it's really depending on the person. Damn, I don't have the skills you're putting right now. Exactly. Oh, okay. Yes, that's fine. Mm. Okay, I read this now. Can I like, can I answer to this in stream? Or like, no? It's like totally fine if you just say no. I don't know, I just sort of like want to make sure. Like, I do realize that it's sort of implied. But I mean, like, just to make sure you know, I mean, like, in stream now, like, talking about it. So just because, like, you sent this to me privately, right? So I want to make sure that you, like, that it's like, okay. Cool take, disabled people are way more empathetic in general. I definitely, like, I don't think it's like one of those like biological things, right? But it's exactly the thing I was mentioning before. Like at the beginning when we started talking about this, I brought up how, like, for example, the like people with like mental health issues, right? Because once they are in therapy, because they're faced with these mental health issues, and because they are sort of like, because their need to overcome these is like way higher than like for regular people, right? They are then empowered by having solved that issue, and then have the power to solve issues like these, right? So I feel like, because you are faced with people being not empathetic, and with people being like ableistic, I don't know, like racism and racist, ableist. Is that a thing? I don't know. But because you're faced with this, you sort of have to, like, it's more of a necessity for you to like actively put effort into this topic to overcome it. And I feel like that leaves you with this empowerment, because now, like, you have the power to like overcome these things, or like you've had the power to overcome these things, and now you have like proper answers and a proper moral compass, and like this stuff figured out of what is like good and bad and stuff like this. You know what I mean, sort of. I most likely have dysgraphia. That's why I don't study languages law. You want to explain to me what that necessarily is, or should I Google? Ah, okay. You explained, actually. I like languages, but I can't write correctly for shit. Luckily, I'm good at sciences. I don't like languages. I've always been bad. I don't know. I don't know if I have anything like dysgraphia or whatever. I just know that I really suck with languages. I always like jumble the words together, and it's so hard for me, actually. I essentially speak a mix of all the languages I know, And that is the language I speak. I speak communication. I don't speak languages. It's so hard. All right, Grumpy Palace. Yes, yes. Just remind me, all right? Especially in your mother language. Oh, that sucks. Oh, okay. Okay, I feel like I might, I think I don't have that. I just like, I don't know, I just miss words sometimes. But I feel like that could maybe be like it was one of those like ADHD symptoms, but yeah. It's just, I don't know, sometimes I just leave out words. Sometimes I make up new words. Sometimes I just say the wrong words or write the wrong words because I was seeing something different in that moment. So I had like a sentence in my mind I'm saying, but while I was saying the sentence, I looked at like a glass or something, and then I just say a different word for a word in that sentence, and then you don't get it anymore, but I don't realize it happened. And then you look at me like, huh? And then I look at you like, are you stupid? And then you say like, raspberries? And I say like, what do you mean? And then you're like, then you repeat my sentence. I'm like, no shit, I said that, right? Like you're bullshitting me. Yeah. And then sometimes I just miss like small words like the or like I don't know, that kind of stuff. Yeah. I don't know. I write the words completely wrong a lot of the times. Okay, that's annoying. I can imagine. But thankfully, there's a lot of autocorrect nowadays. At the same time, sadly, the autocorrect is a lot of the times really shitty. I sometimes have the problem that if there's, like, some words are weird to me, and the more I look at those words, the more I confuse myself. Do you know what I mean? Do you have that too? Or is it just like from the first moment on, like completely weird? Like for me, it's like the longer I like think about how that word is actually written, the more I mess it up. Like I confuse myself to the point where it could have a different front letter. Like it's so hard to, I don't know, I just question everything at some point. Like in the beginning, it's only like if the O is first or the E is first, and in the end, it's like, but does God exist? So, yeah. It's really, I don't know, it's worse the longer I look at it. But what is the most annoying part about dysgraphia? What do you think? Is it in like work context? I could imagine that it's like really annoying. But at the same time, in work context, you can probably like a lot of the stuff is like online, right? So you can probably use a lot of like autocorrect. So maybe that's not the most annoying part. Your internet died? Yikes. Welcome back though. Raven, by the way, how are you doing? You didn't say. No mental health check-in from your side. I mean, it's okay if you don't want to. I just wanted to make sure that you know we're interested. That reminded me of a beautiful documentary called The Painter and the Thief. Really? What is that documentary? Is it about like an art thief or? So it's mostly a problem with exceptions to rules and stuff. I just can't remember no matter how hard I try. Ah, okay. That's annoying. I just, like... I actually don't know if I could have remembered if I tried harder. I just know that I was really, really, really shitty in Latin. Like, Latin, from first year I had it to last year, I was every year on the verge of like failing class because of it. Yeah. Oh, no. No. I feel like, man. I love it when you guys make clips because it's like, I can't make clips while I'm like doing the stream, right? Like I just like, I'm in mid-sentence. I can't like then stop and like, okay, where's the whatever? And it's like, I'm always like sort of like, please everybody make clips, please. But now Twitch is denying me that that beautiful life. Sad. I mean, beautiful is a weird word though. But I think you sort of have it right, like without the second L, but like, yeah, right? Oh. Beautiful. Maybe? Bro, you can't ask me stuff like this. Once I like look at it, I'm like, is it? I can't anymore. I can't even tell you if it's correct. Like now it looks weird. Like in the beginning it didn't look weird and I was just like maybe like not maybe but like the second L is like wrong, but like apart from that it looks right. And now that I wrote it myself and was like actually like is that how you write it? It looks so weird. Yeah, bigger powers against you. It's really like that. Like honestly, it's I don't know. We're getting paranoid here. Oh, by the way, I made crocodiles. I 3D printed crocodiles and I made 2 of them because I was testing something. The thing I was testing, let me actually quickly check. It made it worse, actually. Yeah, it made it worse. Ruined the detail. Anyways, but look. Rawr. 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 What? Not my face. Look. Like, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now I have 2. And then we started painting some stuff. And so far this guy is painted like this. Not finished yet, but like looks so cool, I think. I love it. It's not one we printed, we bought this one. This is a printed one, but it's like from like old settings, so you can like really see the layer lines. Like an orc woman. Started painting this guy. Like an octopus, whatever person. Obviously purple. And then I printed this mimic. And I don't know if you can see, but the like detail is actually really nice. On the front part. On the back part is entirely fucked up. Don't look at it. Then I started and cancelled a crocodile. That's why I now have this. And then I made this. And then all of the like tiny imps. I've made like 5 of these now. For like the testing. So, yeah. It just doesn't make sense to me. Some stuff has 2 L's and others have like 2 T's and others don't. Yeah. You were really close, yeah. It was only the like second L, but that's it. I mean, I do agree that beautiful, like full is It's like full beautiful. Beautiful. I have a full glass of water. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, you technically say it like, I guess you say like beautiful. And you don't say beautiful, but you say beautiful. So there's no like the L is pronounced shorter as when you say like give me a full glass of water, please. Like a full glass. Yeah, there's like a slight difference, but it's really, really tiny. At the same time, there's some words which I just pronounce like entirely differently. It's a horror show. There was... I don't even remember any right now. It's about this Norwegian painter, I sent her name on Discord, whose art was stolen, yet instead of breaking, she kept creating. What amazed me most was how their friendship grew from that moment, built on trust, empathy, and quiet strength. They saw each other clearly, not as victims or heroes, but as people who rise after being hurt. That honesty shaped one of the most beautiful friendships, a bond born from shared resilience and gentle understanding. Which friendship? The friendship between the thief and the painter? I hate mimics with a passion. I love mimics. I love mimics. I had the most amazing D&D campaign moment with a mimic, where I had like I did like a one shot for the people from Zach's work. So we had like 8 people or something on the table, 8 players, all newbies, right? So the perfect victim for my mimic. Door. And they were like, you hear screaming from the inside, from this like little girl they were like looking for, or like little boy, I don't even remember, I don't know. And they were like, I rushed to the door and I like, oh my god, no. Actually, it wasn't like they just opened it, but she wanted to hear at the door. So she like rushed to the door, did this, and I was like, you are now stuck to the door. Give me your armor, please. Rolling dice. So she was stuck to that door. And then there were like 7 people around, like trying to hit that door, but that door had cover because she was standing right in front of it, being entirely stuck to the door. It was amazing. It was amazing. I can only recommend. Love it. Love it. Never had so much fun. The faces of this group of 8 people being like, one of y'all is now face first, stuck on that door, which has like 1,000 teeth and 10 eyes, and is like slowly chomping down on your friend. Hilarious. It looks like a gargoyle, not an imp. Yeah, well, I didn't make the 3D model. I think it's like fairly alright. I do see the recollection to gargoyles, but to be fair, gargoyles do sort of look like tiny devils, so... The thief and the painter. They had a friendship. Crazy. Wild. You know the two-sided mimic story? Really, just a great place? No, I actually don't. Did you know a corpse is classified as an object? So a very smart mimic can learn to disguise itself as a corpse. Oh my god. I love that. I also recently saw a 3D model for a pancake mimic, or a heart-shaped bed mimic, or a canoe mimic. Imagine your friends are like sort of like looking for a boat, like walking around, like next to a river, right? And then there's just this like old canoe tied up. And they like get in, and in that moment it's still a canoe. And then like they start going to the middle of the like river, and then the mimic is like roar. That would be so cool. So cool. Oh. Audiobook when please. Oh my god, I would make an audiobook. I'm serious. I like reading out loud. I feel like, I don't know, I like listening to audiobooks. And I just like reading things out loud. I don't know. I actually already had multiple talks with ChatGPT, which books are sort of like on topic and I could read in stream. To be fair, there's the amount of like public domain books is slim. A lot of them are really old. Like we could read like Freud or something, but I'm like, I don't know, like, do I want to read them out loud? I don't know. Let's start small with Yuri stuff for a friend. But is that like public domain? It's about an adventurer that was trapped in a dungeon and he gave his last food to a mimic and waited for his death, but the mimic transformed into different objects to help him escape, but the part of the mimic was also written out. Oh, that's so beautiful. Oh. That's really beautiful. That's so cute. I love that. Yeah. You boat mimic. Just wait till you're like close to the bottom and then what you gonna do, huh? I had to run for a bit. My coworker is convinced our computer is haunted. Well, I did have those moments too. I think the computer of my mom might actually be haunted. The problems my mom is having with her computer are unreal. Like, they should not be existent or legal. I don't know how she does it, but she does. And I know that I have her, like, cursed touch, definitely. Because I always have problems where Zach, as an IT person, is like, I have never seen that happen before. And it will never happen to a person except you. Yeah. I don't know where to even look when it comes to audio. It's a new world to me. Well, like, technically I do have, like, podcasts, but to be fair, I have, like, one in English. Like, I wanted to make more, but then I just didn't get to it anymore. But I already have, like, I had, like, the other night, when I was trying to sleep, I had, like, a really, really cool podcast topic, and it motivated me so much to make a podcast, and I was thinking already, like, how I would make that and stuff like this. And at the same time, I was like, oh, I need to write that down. But then I was like, I'm like so cuddled up already, I don't want to. And it's like a really good idea. And I already thought about it so much, like I'm not going to forget it, right? And I fell asleep being like, I'm not going to forget it. It's fine. Like, don't be so paranoid. Like, you don't forget stuff. I forgot it. I did forget it. Yeah. But how are you doing, Raven, by the way? You know what I like to do? I want to play a D&D campaign as a mimic. That would be cool. Today I saw a 3D model of a tiny mushroom bard. And I love it, in fact. I absolutely love it. Yeah. Doing alright. Monday morning at work, so good as it can be, I guess. I'm like, I get what you mean, but at the same time, let's think about this for a second, what this means, right? Because essentially what we say in our society with that is Monday mornings at work always suck for everybody. And it's definitely a more common truth. I definitely agree. Like, I can absolutely relate. At the same time, it's sort of like this thing of like it always sucks. Like you can't do anything so it doesn't suck. Like there's no possibility or reality where Monday morning doesn't suck. Which is actually sort of low-key harmful because it makes us not look for possibilities on how to make our Monday morning better, no? And hi Nagani, welcome. Hearing D&D? Yes. We were talking about mimics actually, quite a lot. And I was showing all my 3D printed minis and all of that. Work sucks, but it's alright besides that. For it not to suck, I would be home in bed. Well... Does any work always suck? Like, I feel like back then when I was working in IT, it was like... I don't know, it didn't always suck. Like, some days sucked for sure, and it definitely, like, more days sucked than not, because I, like, just recently then got my, like, chronic headache, and I was working 2 jobs. So it was like... Definitely I was more like overwhelmed and exhausted on a daily basis. But I don't know, like my colleagues were kind of nice. And it was really fun talking to them in the breaks. And there's like coffee and like cocoa? Wait. Cocoa? No. How do you say C-O-C-O-A? How do you say that? Cocoa? Cocoa? Well, I don't know. Anyway, so that machine was really amazing. So, I don't know. It was sort of like fun sometimes, you know. Cocoa. Okay. That sounds dangerous to your body. Well, I got chronic headache from it, so probably was. Thankfully I didn't work like 2 full-time jobs. Like I was working 35 hours at the one job, and